Hello, everyone. I'm going to answer that question again for Jeff. Why medicate healthy pigeons? And I'm going to say the short answer first. Because they appear healthy, but they're not. Now, in this particular video, we're going to talk about really roundworms. But I want to point out to you, a lot of people, you have dogs, you have cats. In many cases, your pets are also going to get roundworms. It's a very good idea when you go to the vet. Most vets do it now. They check the stool for eggs. And many of us pigeon flyers could do the same. You can go to a vet and have them check the droppings, which is a good idea. So in some cases, you don't necessarily have to just medicate the birds. But I'm going to talk about a few instances. Two. I'm going to talk about two. There's more, but I'm going to talk about two instances where this happened. And the first one is with a good friend, Kenny Oliver. You know, from past videos, we trained our birds together. And anyway, when I first moved down here, in our club, especially at the club level, because they're closer, those flyers are closer to you, the weather doesn't affect the results of a race so much. But let's stick with the topic. Because I was winning so many races, all of them, Kenny was totally frustrated. And he said to me, "Danny, what do I got to do to beat you?" And I had told him. I said, "Worm your birds." He said, "I don't want drug birds. I don't want to do drugs." And I said to him, "Keep losing." But Kenny went out and he got the medicine and he wormed his birds. Now, Kenny was racing those birds. They were out 100 and 200 miles and they were returning. They were doing pretty good. And they looked normal. Now, when I say pretty good, it was late, but they were returning. I lost my train of thought, forgive me. But when he wormed them, it took 5 days. And let me tell you, he could have went fishing for a month. He had them by the handful. Pigeons looked normal. They laid eggs. They made it. To look at them, you couldn't tell. You just can't see inside of a pigeon. Well, that's one instance, Jeff, where the pigeons had worms. The other occasion, very interesting. I used to go to a bird store, and I would visit a friend there on my way home from work. Young man comes in with 2 baskets of pigeons. And every pigeon that he picked up, that he was selling, he threw into the screen, had SOB, and so on and so on. Every word was a profanity, every pigeon. After a while, I said to him, "Who are you talking about here?" He said, "Charlie Loftus. I paid a lot of money for these birds." He said, "They're no good." I said to him, "Those are Charlie Loftus's pigeons?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I know Charlie Loftus since I'm 16, 17 years old." He said, "Those got to be good pigeons if you got them from Charlie." "Nah, you didn't sell me good pigeons." Sold them all. I went over to the store owner after he left. I said, "Jimmy, what do you want for some of them pigeons?" He said, "Danny, you always do me favors. I paid $1 a piece. Give me $1 a piece for them. Pick whatever you want." I went in there, I picked out 6. But I only picked out pigeons with futurity bands because I knew Charlie would have had them. They were older birds. They were the breeders. A few days later, I ran into Frank Loftus, and I told him I had the birds, that I had these birds, his brother's birds. He didn't believe me. He said, you can't afford them. I said, I got six. I paid him $1 a piece. He came over. When he looked at those pigeons, he knew the band numbers on two of those pigeons. He said, Danny, he said, them pigeons. He said, you couldn't afford them. I said, I don't even want them. I said, you can have them. Take them home. I gave them to him. But when I got those pigeons home, I wormed them. There's an old method in the Whitney book, how to do it. We didn't have the modern day wormers back then. You know, I'm talking 45 years ago. We didn't have wormers back then. You only had Tramasol and the other one Piperazine, and that's what I wormed them with was the Piperazine. 6 hours later, those pigeons were passing worms. Perfectly looking pigeons. They looked healthy. They were fine, but they were sick. Now I want to go back here to your dogs and your cats. In the environment, a worm egg can survive for as much as 6 or 7 years if the conditions are right. For the most part, 5 or 6 months, 7 months, they'll survive, and if ingested, they'll become a worm. Your pets can get these things. That's why many good vets check those pets for parasites. It's a good idea to take your pets to a vet and have them checked. It's a good idea maybe for you to be checked. These things are all around us, and they've existed for millions of years. So, again, the answer to Jeff's question is they appear fine. They look fine. Your dogs, your cats, a bird in a cage, anything you have, they appear fine, but they're not. Today, with worms and things of that nature, you can go to a vet. Go to the vet. It costs you a few dollars, but you'll have a healthy pet, and he'll stay healthy. And there are many, many, many medications available today to keep your pets healthy. Okay, that's 2 examples. I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. But there are many other things that pigeons get, and they look healthy, but they're not. And that's why, if you can't afford a vet, then you got to do it yourself. But you better know what the hell you're doing. Thank you very much. Please subscribe.